G'day everyone, welcome to the Breathless Blog. Now, as you can tell, it's a little bit dark behind me. That's what you get. Autumn in Brisbane at the best time to run. No humidity, fantastic, but the days get shorter. When you get talking to a neighbour for a little bit too long, that's what happens. This week, I'm so excited to share with you, if people haven't noticed already, but the Reflections Portrait Project, which I've been working on with Nudgee College to celebrate their 130th years of being a school. That's been acknowledged and announced this week, that it's all of those wonderful portraits and stories that some of you may have already seen go up via the college's Facebook page at 6 o'clock every Monday. They're actually being compiled into a beautiful hardcover coffee table book, which I'm just so stoked about, having such a great project being reflected as not only digital content that pops up every week, but also being honoured the way it should be for those people to be in something that's, hard copying you can pick up and that's tangible as a mark in history for them. So super excited about that. I'll leave a link in the comments below here. Go and check it out. Even if you're, if you're a Nudgee person, blue and white through and through, even if you're not, I know that you will definitely get something out of the stories and be inspired and connect with people in that book. Okay, this week I want to have a little bit of a chat about the concept of comfort zones. And now, while I can almost hear a bit of a collective sigh potentially about someone, lecturing on, getting out of your comfort zone, all that sort of stuff, while that is somewhat true to what I want to have a chat about, I also want to dig a little bit deeper into what comfort zones look like for us as a photographer, and playing it safe and shooting safe within our settings that we're familiar with, but also how comfort zones are really important for subjects, so the people that we're engaging with, especially in a portraiture setting. If experience is anything to go by in my time as a photographer, is that, and I say it and joke with people all the time, but I'm sure that most of the time, once I get the camera out, people would sooner me pull a gun or a knife on them than actually pull a camera to take their photograph. Myself included, we all, someone wants to take a photo, can get a little bit stilted and, what sort of persona would you like me to have for this photograph? Whereas I know that from my perspective, but also countless clients' perspective, that say on a wedding day, quite often the favourite photos that they'll have out of 1,000 will be the candid ones, the ones where they're not quite aware that they're actually having their photo taken. So yeah, let's have a little bit of a chat about how you as a photographer can not only get yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit, even while you're professionally shooting for a client, but also then allowing them to get out of their comfort zone in terms of what style of photograph you might take. So what actually got me to this thought this week was, earlier in the week, a couple of days ago, I caught up with a gentleman called Daryl Hanley. Now, for those of you who are around, Brisbane education or Nudgee College, you'll know that Daryl Hanley was in fact the college principal from about 2002 to I think 2014 was about his time frame. So as a principal, that's quite a long stint in quite a prestigious school here in Brisbane, or anywhere really. Just the longevity and the pressures that role brings is something that I know he's very, very proud of. But myself, having known Daryl even before our catch-up, I know that he is a very well-presented man. He's quite articulate. He's very charismatic. He, has a big smile that he loves to wear all the time. And whenever I've engaged with him and watching him engage with the public, he's always, very well prepared and confident. So I kind of had a feel for what style of interview might be coming. And I was pretty spot on with it. He was very open and honest about a lot of different things, and it was a really great chat over about 3 hours or so. And so with that in mind, I'll share a little bit before I get into the crux that we're going to chat about, but just my approach to these portraits when I sit down with someone is that I want to spend as much time as I can getting to know that person and actually being present for them and engaging and listening. So, when I turn up to Daryl's house, I don't even walk into his home with a camera. The camera stays in the car. I head in with the intent and purpose of just sitting down. Let's have a cup of tea. Let's get to know each other. I want to know everything about you and the journey that you've had. So, like I said, for like 3 hours, Daryl and I were having a chat, and I was intently listening and thinking about different things and where not only the story might go in terms of the copy piece that goes with that portrait, but how am I going to photograph this guy? How am I going to use space or light or composition or different settings, to honour him and his story? And to be honest, those thoughts technically only come in about the last 5% of our chat, and then I think we spent about 45 minutes to an hour, which is quite long actually, for the way I usually work, just trying to refine what type of photograph we'll take. So, the safe option was a photograph that we took, and I'll pop that up now. The safe option is, I was happy with the composition. I had a single off-camera softbox and strobe to help fill a little bit of light, make it a bit cleaner in terms of shadows and contrast and that sort of thing. Because I know that that's kind of the image that Daryl will probably be attracted to of him, one that's, quite well lit. You can see his big, beautiful smile. He's sitting in a chair, and composition-wise, I also wanted to keep on the right-hand side a couple of paintings that you can see that are actually of Nudgee College, right? So just tried to add a little bit of an Easter egg, if you want to term it like that, into the composition. So we took a few photographs. I had to play around with the composition and shifted him around a little bit, and took some in portrait and landscape, and trying to figure out where I put the lampshade, not just lines and shape and everything. Got to a position of that photograph that okay, for me, it's safe. Even at the time, I'm looking and going, look, it's nice. But I don't know, it's kind of something just missing. But as we're still engaging and talking, and I'm asking him questions, and I think I posed him a question, it might have even been something like, the toughest part of your job, or, what used to keep you up at night, or just something that was a little bit more of a confronting question, or that required a bit of thought. And I didn't have the off-camera light on, but it was just natural light. There's light coming in off the window, and he paused and sort of made this gesture with his hand up to his mouth that he would always make when he was deliberating or carefully considering something, and knowing that from years gone by. And as he did that, I just very calmly but quickly took a couple of frames. And to me, that candid, almost unaware, honest moment, that microsecond, for me and for the story that Daryl was speaking about, I feel there's much more of a connection and a truth and an honesty within the photograph that I've been able to create there. And hence I've gone to black and white for it, because I want to sort of, if it makes sense, I want whoever looks at that photograph to see the emotion first. I didn't want to be distracted by colour. I think while obviously the world through our eyes is not black and white, we can see in colour, but I think whenever we can use black and white in the right circumstances, it helps evoke a little bit of a punch with emotion. So now Daryl hasn't seen either of these photographs yet, so I'm really hoping that through some of the rapport that we've been able to build over quite a few years that we've known each other, but also from the other day and the catch up that we've had, that when it comes time to put his portrait or portraits into the book, that at the very least he'll say yes to both of them, because I think even having both portraits within the book actually adds to the contrast, or kind of that sense or the messaging of here's what you see, and then in terms of the safe colour image, but then also having the black and white image is sort of the almost a behind the scenes, an honest, intimate look at who he is as a person. So fingers crossed Daryl likes the one that is a bit more, I suppose, abstract for maybe what some of his thoughts were. But that's certainly enough from me today. That was just a quick little mind drop. It's something that's been just occupying my thoughts the last couple of days, in terms of that, as a photographer, sometimes you get into a comfort zone and just want to play it safe all the time. But, if you do that, where's the enjoyment? Where's the passion? Where's the creative spark that you're trying to achieve? And then, if you can encourage your clients or people you're taking photographs of, in the right way, to sort of step out of their comfort zone a little bit, and you're sort of both taking some risks together, that's where your magic can really start to evolve. I'd certainly never encourage, putting people in danger or making them do stuff that they absolutely hate. But, just encouraging people to, I suppose, to feed off the trust that they've put in you. I'd love to hear your thoughts on which photograph you prefer, whether you prefer Daryl in colour or Daryl in black and white. Drop your comments below, send us an email, get in touch via Instagram. That's about it from me. It is well and truly just about dark, and it's time to cook some dinner. So thanks for stopping by. This has been the Breathless Blog. Until next time, thanks. Over and out.